It's time for another edition of AEW Unrestricted. Tony Schiavone and referee of the century, Aubrey Edwards. What's going on, girl?
Good. I pay him to say that, just FYI.
I know you do. I'll pay you back. I'll pay you back in flip-flops.
Oh,
how does that
shit.
sound?
Wow, no shots there.
None.
Well, we welcome Miro with us to our podcast. Buddy, it's great to see you. How are you?
Oh, best day ever. Every day is the best day ever. And today is so much more special. We have this amazing podcast that I was really looking forward to doing. Yeah. And I woke up 7 hours prematurely to do it. So I'm really... I'm kidding.
So you woke up at like 2 a.m.?
I had to get ready.
You had to do your hair.
Clearly.
Yes.
I had to get my material, my everything else, all the stories. And
Man.
I'm glad to be here, though.
I got a story for everybody, and Miro, you know the story. I did not know you were going to be there that day. I didn't know you were coming that day.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great secret. I the way I feel is if I don't know, that's fine. I don't care. It's fine. But you kind of stepped out one of the locker rooms there. You said, "Hello, it's Miro," and I went, "Hey," and then I went, "Holy shit!" After you went back inside, and so I tracked you down later to talk to you because it just really shocked me. So that's my way of saying, man, we are glad you're here.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I had no idea you were there. I think I was talking to Dean about some match, and he's like, "Hey, have you met my friend Rusev?" And he like points at you and then walks away. And I'm like, "Oh, I guess this is where I go say hi." Like,
classic Dean. Yeah, you guys are the best. Thank you for the kind words. It was a surprise for a lot of people, but mostly it was a surprise for me because I was used to, everything. It's a small community. Wrestling, we all know each other. We love each other.
Right.
Hopefully we love each other.
we love you.
Yeah, well, I love you guys. But I was totally okay if it leaked out. I was so used to it, but I didn't care at the same time because you're not going to spoil my moment. You're not going to spoil this huge opportunity I've been waiting for so long. And then nothing came out. Mm-hmm. And I came backstage and they were like, "Oh, hey," and I introduced Pickles. It's my turn.
So your dog?
Yeah, Pickles.
Pickles.
Oh, sure. Pickles, come here.
Yeah, we've had Brian Cage's daughter, his 2-year-old daughter, be a guest on our podcast. So a dog is totally acceptable.
Oh, look at Pickles. My
look
gosh.
At that dog.
What a fur ball.
This is my Pickles.
We have 2 dogs currently now on screen. We have Bug and Pickles.
I saw Bug.
Yeah, Bug just kind of, he don't give a damn about anybody. He just kind of lays out.
Just lays in the back.
But I love the shirt as well.
Thank you.
You're ready. So as I was saying, I came backstage and people were like, I was introducing myself and a lot of people did exactly what you did. They couldn't even realize that, I've done some stuff before. So I was like, "Hey, my name is Miro." They're, "Hey, man, what's up?" And they just move on. Mm-hmm. And then you have the 5 hours later, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know exactly what happened. Are you?"
Right. Wow.
And I love that because maybe it's the hair, maybe just because I'm jacked.
I think it's the hair.
Maybe it's the hair. I'll take it. But that's what I wanted. I wanted a surprise factor. I wanted to have that on the big return. Because I was just so excited to get there, man. I was so excited.
Yeah, it's great to have you. It's great to have you here. As we told you, this is an interview where we're talking about you and your life. And there's no better way to start talking about someone's life than start talking about birth.
Oh, my God.
Because that's where it all starts. On Instagram, to your mother on Mother's Day, you said, "Sorry it took you 3 hours to give birth to me."
3 days,
Sorry, I was 3 days to give birth to me. Sorry. I was a 15-pound baby.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. You gotta go big or go home. That's what they say. So I was definitely go big.
Yeah, and still are, by the way. When you first heard, how old were you when you first heard the story from your parents?
I was a kid. I remember I always knew it since I was a kid. Because in my mind, they have to explain to me, why am I so much bigger than everybody else? Why am I so much bigger than my brother? And I feel like that's why when they always pull out the weight, you came out at 15 pounds, your brother was just like 7.5. And I always used to eat all his food when I was a baby and all that kind of stuff. So it's just the story follows along since I was a baby. I loved eating. Mm-hmm. And it just scared me through my whole life until maybe I hit puberty. Then maybe my weight came down a little bit, but then my height shot up a little bit, further up. And then eventually when I was 20, my weight caught up. So I was about 306'1" and all that. And
Jesus.
yeah.
So
But it
how
was a
often did your mom remind you of this story? Because I was a 10-pound baby and my mom liked to remind me like every week.
Well, she doesn't remind it to me. I just like to brag with it because it's a bragging story when you think about it. She does give me. She was in the hospital for 3 days with all in pain and all that, and trying to, and finally, I think they were watching Star Wars movie before that. They were in the movie theater watching Star Wars movies, and there was no seats available, so they sat on the stairs. And then when my mom felt, oh, things are happening, so they left the movie. And they went to the hospital. And 3 days later, on December 25th, Christmas Day, 10 a.m., here I am once again.
Oh,
well,
man.
not once again. First time ever. First time ever. Yeah, that's how it all started.
So being born on Christmas Day, does that mean like your birthday sucks because you end up getting birthday and Christmas presents all on the same day?
So when we were kids, when I was a kid, we had a lot of presents because it was a communist time, and my parents used to travel to Russia for work or for different things. So they always bring us toys. But as communism fell down, democracy came in and nobody had money. Nobody had food, let alone money. So presents were definitely tight on Christmas. But I never cared about that. I wanted everybody to be happy. Never cared about having more shoes or more presents. But now I do. So that was when I was a kid, but now,
Sure.
And this is definitely something that I've noticed throughout the world is, when you've been limited and you can't have all these things when you're a kid. And once you succeed in life and you have a little bit more, that you can spoil yourself. Mm-hmm. Go out there and get every single thing that you missed all your life.
Right.
So now I get all kinds of shoes because when I was a kid, I loved basketball. I love shoes. We couldn't afford the nice shoes, but now I'm all about shoes. I'm all about video games. And I don't think it's a bad thing because they're not bad things. It's just that those are things that I love doing since I was a kid. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it back then, but now I'm a big kid, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Well, I'm the same way. I'm a big kid. I love video games, and I'm just telling you, enjoy your success, right? You should. Mm-hmm. You really should, and you should be very proud of it. And I wanted to talk to you. Go ahead.
No, it's just about success. Again, I don't measure anything as success. I just measure everything in how comfortable can I make my family? How comfortable can I make my wife? And how God, is he happy with me? Is he unhappy? For me, never Hall of Fames and main events and different things. Yeah, they're great, but if it happens, it happens. A lot of these things are not in my hands. Right. And if it's not, there's no way for me to stress about it.
Right. It's a great attitude. It really is. Let's talk a little bit about coming into AEW. When did you first start talking about coming into AEW and the storyline of being the best man for Kip?
We started talking maybe a few months ago, but we didn't know what are we coming for. And then we talked to Tony, and he wanted to bring us in, and we took time, and we wanted to execute the exact amount of the right contract for the right time, the right opportunity. I was very keen on telling him that I'm very passionate about different projects, about my Twitch, about working in other place, and doing different things like outside projects. And he was very open to it. And it was a huge, like, wow, like, you really care that I can succeed on my own on the outside, and we can use that. So that was the biggest plus out of everything. And as soon as I heard that he's willing to do that for me, I was willing to, to work with Tony at the same time. And let's be honest, there is no other better place than AEW out there at all. So It was a no-brainer. It was definitely a no-brainer for me. And I'm so glad and I'm so blessed that this whole thing is happening. And I can live again what I really love to do, which is professional wrestling.
Yeah. I want to do a follow-up to that, and then Aubrey get the next question. But the follow-up of that is almost a comment. Working with Tony, he allows you to blossom out and do other things.
Right.
And that's what makes it special here. I'm sure you would agree with that.
Yeah, he puts it onto you. Like, what do you want to say? Well, Tony, this is what I feel like saying. Well, cool. Let's just go out there and say it.
Right.
And when Chris told me about, because again, about the first promo, and I had an idea what I wanted to say. And Chris was there, Jericho, and Jericho is the best at that. So I went, Chris, do you mind? So I ran it by him, and he just gave me the line about the brass ring. And I was so shocked because never in my mind I would have think I could say anything like it, because I think the worst thing before that I said was ass.
Right.
And I felt like a bad boy for 7 years because I said ass. And I was like, my wife, I'm like, you see that? I said ass last night. but last night, it was like, last week or 2 weeks ago was a completely different thing. But once again, it made sense. It was not forced. It wasn't like, oh, you just say something, but it's not. It was making sense. And it was not like the worst insult. Everything had to make sense. And I think it did. And as I said, now that we're moving on and we're going to better things.
It's really nice having the creative freedom and like being able to just be genuine. A lot of that just comes across in the product quite a bit. I'm sure that you've probably found this so far. And just to echo like Tony's point, like TK is the best boss I've ever worked for. Like if you haven't figured that out yet, it's every time you go to work, you're just gonna be like, man, this guy is freaking dope, man. Like he just lets you do whatever you want. You're the expert.
And he's excited about it too. He will support you, but at the same time, if he has a different vision, he will let you know about it. He's like, no, I see this film in this way. Okay, cool. But he's like, but you say what you want. I see the shot this way. All right, Tony, whatever you want. You're the boss. But at the same time, he still gives me the creative freedom to create what I want in the setting that he wants to set up. I want you guys to bench press today. Cool, I'm going to bench press. What do you want me to say? Whatever you want. Oh, okay. So your idea is for me to bench press. It's my idea to say, I can work with that. Instead of trying to learn like a 7-page script and all that, which I guess different people work different things, but I think I'm way better of coming up with my own words instead of memorizing somebody else's writing 5 minutes before I go out there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you're on the show now. You're Kip's best man. He's legit getting married, him and Penelope in real life. Do you have any advice for Kip since you are indeed the best man?
Love your wife. Love your wife more than everything. People are gonna, but it's true. People are gonna attack your relationship. People are gonna attack everything, and they're gonna try to tear you apart. But this is where love comes, and I was so happy and blessed because my love and CJ didn't come from a physical attraction. We came from a bond that we had for us living overseas together, separately, but in the Eastern Bloc. And then God was a big, we started going to church together before we even hooked up, before we did anything. And that was our biggest kind of fall in love moment was once we found out we love Pink, the singer, we love God, and we were stuck working professional wrestling together all the time. And all this blossomed into this beautiful love relationship that now you see people trying to take away, or they're trying to spoil it, they're trying to do all kinds of stuff. But do not let that bother you, man, because people are just going to hate. They're going to hate because you love somebody else, because you love somebody who is beautiful, who is young, and you're beautiful. And you just can't let that happen. It's impossible, because love is what's going to save the world. It's not your drama. It's not your money. It's not your latest car. It's not that, man. It's love and caring for people.
You have a tremendous attitude, buddy.
I love it.
I mean, what else is there? Money comes and goes.
Yeah.
Money comes and goes, man. And you just have to understand. I couldn't understand it before, but you have to come to this point. Yeah. And it sucks when you're like, when you're 20, I don't think you can understand that. Unfortunately, you have to live life, and you have to go through some rough stuff, rough patches, gut patches, and all that. But eventually you sit down and kind of sum it all up. Is like, oh, well, I guess all I can trust is my wife and my family, because everything else is going to turn around and talk shit, write shit, and try to take something out. Like, that's why you have to know who your biggest supporter is, and you got to be able to trust your wife.
Yeah, I've known many of the coaches, the producers, the agents of the WWE for many years. Arn being one, and Dean being another, and Scott Armstrong, and all those guys. And they would always. I came to a couple events, and I remember them saying, "Rusev is like the nicest, most positive guy you will ever want to meet." And I get it. Now I really get it.
100%.
Yeah, more people should use exactly what you say. Talking about WWE, you wanted to leave WWE before AEW was ever in existence. And talk about that wanting to leave. What did you have planned?
I don't know if I had planned anything. I don't think I had planned anything. There was a point when I was really unhappy. I didn't make a big fuss. I didn't go out there. Once again, the Stooges. The Stooges find out that I wanted to leave because there was only one person I went and said, Mark, I want to leave. Like, all right, bud, we can make it happen. But that was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, whenever it was.
Right.
Of course, nothing happened, but the internet find out about it the same day.
It's ridiculous the way it works.
Yeah, so it's like, whatever. It's really whatever, because you can't go nowhere to complain. Once you go to complain somewhere, it leaks right out. So who do you go to tell? Because if you're unhappy, who do you go and tell? Because you can't get a meeting with the big boss. It's just impossible. Yeah. You go to whoever you're supposed to, and it leaks right to the dirt sheets. Where am I going? Where do I complain? People have mental breakdowns. There's nowhere to complain. It's so like it blows my mind.
Yeah.
So you talk a little bit about love for your wife and whatnot. CJ's great, and then wanting to leave. Like, was she supportive of that?
Of course, she's always supportive. She's always supportive. She kind of, now it's a little bit tough for her because now she finally, well, it's not just her. I understand it as well because we've known each other for so many years, and 99% of the time we've been together. Yeah. Traveling, sleeping, eating, working out, every single thing is 24 hours we're together. And now all of a sudden, we were lucky with the pandemic. Well, not lucky, but when the pandemic came in, we were kind of stuck together at home. But instead of us tearing each other apart, I feel like our relationship grew from that. And we got to share more time together and just not think about wrestling. We were just able to be human beings and have a somewhat of a normal life, sleeping at home every night instead of 5 days at Marriott. So I think that definitely our relationship has grown since. But it's hard. It's hard because now she leaves on Sunday. She won't be back until Tuesday when I'm already left. And so it's kind of like our schedule is definitely wrong. But with AEW, we're lucky enough that we work every, not as often. So
right.
Lucky for that. And also she works in Florida. We'll be able to get a house there or something. We can hang out more often. Once again, we're not going to be at home, but at least we're going to be together.
Right. Orlando's only about like 2.5 hours from Jacksonville.
Yeah,
so
but I'm not going to Orlando.
She'll come to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It's a much better place.
We can meet in the middle, like, I don't know, something, Cocoa Beach or whatever, it's middle.
Just as long as it's on the beach. You just got to get a place on the beach.
Yeah, she loves the beach. I like the beach. So we can make something happen.
Awesome. We're talking to Miro, one of our newest signees at AEW. Next, we're going to be talking about early days in wrestling and coming to America from Bulgaria.
Oh, boy.
One thing I'd like to talk about is State Farm Insurance. And I say I like to talk about that because I've been a State Farm customer, a member, if you will, since 1981, since the year that I was married. State Farm has surprisingly great rates on both auto and homeowners.
Tony, you've been a member of State Farm since before I was born.
There you go.
That means that they must have like great customer service. They've got agents available everywhere. Like, to be a member of a company for that long, you have to be really, really happy with their policies.
I'm happy with their policies, and now I'm happier, Aubrey, with their easy-to-use technology, because back then you would have to have the insurance card in your wallet. It was a paper insurance card or like a cardboard insurance card. Now you have it on your phone. They have a great app, and you have your insurance card right on your smartphone. So the technology that is advanced in the world has also advanced insurance, thanks to our people at State Farm.
So you can manage your coverage, pay your bill, file a claim, all just from your phone. Some you already carry around with you. Who needs cardboard cards anymore? Jeez.
No boy. A great price with even greater service. So Aubrey, as I always say, when you want the real deal,
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You say that all the time, Tony.
I do.
This is AEW Unrestricted. We're here with Miro. There was a little break where we weren't recording. We were talking about dick pills.
That was the most unrestricted break ever.
I mean, it's welcome to the family, man. Like, this is what we do. So you had a storyline at WWE where you were a sex addict.
That's when I came out and they wanted CJ to say that I'm a sex addict. But the original pitch was that I have erectile dysfunction. They really wanted to kill me, like, completely, because I don't think in anybody's eyes how the babyface has erectile dysfunction, and he's somewhat of a good guy.
Well, you have some sympathy. I mean, like,
But you can't prove that wrong. And there's nothing wrong with people having erectile dysfunction. There's the pills. You can take care of it. You can watch the commercial from Aubrey and you'll find out.
You can listen to our commercials on Blue Chew.
Yeah. You can see what kind of pills you need to take.
Oh, it works.
But that was not the case here. And there's no coming back from it. There's absolutely no coming back from it. And I told him, Vince, this is going to bury me completely. You already you have the man that took my wife, and now I have all dysfunction, and then I'm going to lose. I just don't think, I was not supposed to lose anyways, but that's just changing time. I just told him, no, I just think it's a better idea if we do the sex addict thing. So he went for it right away. But thank God, I did not have erectile dysfunction as a character. If you have one in real life, please see Aubrey.
I'll talk to you about it. It's great.
Yeah.
I have no problem talking about dicks. I do it all the time.
Oh, Jesus.
Does she ever?
Sounds so bad.
Why? They're just body parts.
Can you just say penis or something?
I mean, you can.
Okay.
It technically works. So you were raised in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Great.
Change the subject.
Wow. The
I'm
transition.
just reading the next line on the notes, brother. That's all I'm doing.
Professional segue.
I'm the best. But yeah, so you raised in Bulgaria. I'm going to butcher the name of the city, so maybe you'll just say it for me.
Please say it.
Plovdiv?
There you go.
Hey!
That was good. You know, the Plovdiv is the 6th oldest living city in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
So describe the city for us.
Oh, man. It's just a beautiful city. It's so beautiful. We have 7 hills, which I think only LA, Rome, and Plovdiv have. Like giant hills. We have a lot of green trees, a lot of mountains around the city. We have a sea, Black Sea, which is 2 hours away from the city.
Uh-huh.
So it's like LA. Technically, it is like LA because you can be in the city. In 2 hours, you can be in the mountains, or in 2 hours, you can go at the sea, whatever you choose.
Sure.
That's why Bulgaria is so beautiful. It's a small country, but we can offer every single entertainment for each one. Whatever you want. You want skiing, you go skiing. You want sea, you go sea. You go to balcony. You want the mountains, you get there. You have the food. You have every single. You can spoil yourself, and it's not that expensive. And that's why it was so great for all the foreigners to come, during vacation times. But just now with COVID, kind of killed everything. But it's a beautiful city, man, and it's not. I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's home. It's home. I know that I can. My morning routine. I was just home in Bulgaria a couple months ago. I would go down from the apartment building across. I get myself coffee. I walk 10 minutes to the gym. I finish my gym workout. I walk back 10 minutes home. Then my mom or somebody will make me lunch or food. I'll eat that. And then I can go to the car and see my friends 10 minutes away, get a coffee, come back. Everything is so much smaller and so much close distance. You don't have to travel 4 hours to see your best friend. None of that, man. Everything is just right there. Everything is right there. Oh, it's the best.
Yeah, it does.
It's really the best.
What's the climate like there normally?
We have
all
4
the
seasons.
4 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what the beautiful, I love California, but it's always the same. And you don't know when time goes.
Yeah.
So if you're even Nashville, I love Nashville because we do have the 4 seasons. And you notice how time changes. Oh, it's summer. It's winter. But here, hey, it's always sunny. It's always sunny in California.
Right. Absolutely. So you attended a sports school in Bulgaria?
I did. My mom, my dad did before me, my brother as well, and then I did as well.
Okay, what's a sports school, and how's that different from a regular school?
So sports school, it depends what sports you are. You can start probably 1st grade or 5th, 7th, 8th, whatever it is. So what you do is you go 3 hours in the morning, you go to school. So you do 3 or 4 classes. From there, you go to practice to whatever your sport is. Because everything is at the same. It's one huge facility with outside, inside, indoors, outdoors. We have the rowing canal right behind the school. So we did 3 or 4 classes. Then you go to practice whatever your sport is. Then you go and get lunch. It's a one big open space for lunch. Everybody gets lunch. Then we go back to school for 3 hours. And then we go back to practice again, whatever your sport is. And then you can have dinner, or if you're outside of the city, there's places that you can stay and sleep, or you can just go home.
What was your sport?
Rowing.
Rowing.
Yeah, my mom was a rower. My dad was a rower. So I was.
Yeah, that's. I had a son who rowed in college for his first 2 years. It's a tough sport, man.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, they would go to camp.
Yeah.
And the deal was to work out until you throw up.
Yeah, throwing up was something a normal thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Just push and push and push.
Yeah, and it's
wow.
But sports is such a beautiful thing. It develops a human being more than any school or anything else can prepare you. Because where else can you meet a challenge that will make you throw up or you'll make you suffer, but then it will help you overcome all these, because it's okay to do all these things, because the next day you come better and better. But now you're not afraid of failure. Yeah. A lot of people are afraid of failure, but you won't know that until you get there. Hey, it's not that scary. All I did is I just threw up. Tomorrow I'll come in again. I'll push hard. Maybe I'll throw up again, but I'll beat that record. But that's what you learn from sports. Sports is such an essential thing in development of young human beings that everybody should play sports.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how do you make the transition from rowing to wrestling?
I loved wrestling when I was a 6-year-old boy. Loved it ever since I saw Hulk Hogan. I signed up for wrestling, amateur, college wrestling, whatever you want to call it. I went in. There was no ring. It was just a mat. I said, where's the ropes?
Yep.
There was no ropes. I stayed for 2 weeks and I said, all right, this is not what I want to do. And I left. And then I did different sports. I did judo, karate, Muay Thai. Basketball was quite a few years. I played a lot of basketball. And I think from all these sports, I took certain elements from them. I took my hops from basketball. I took my endurance from rowing, my big legs from rowing. I took a lot of like hip overs, throws, and tosses from judo and from all these other martial arts that I've done. So my whole life has been preparing me to be a professional wrestler. I was a taxi driver. And taxi driver, you may think it's funny, but you drive all day, every day. And when you're a professional wrestler, what do is you drive all day, every day.
Every day. Professional around the indies. That's what you got to do.
So I think my whole life is just one big preparation for me to become a professional wrestler.
Wow. So you moved to the United States to pursue a professional wrestling career. And you initially went to Virginia, right?
Richmond, Virginia, yes.
Yeah, why Virginia? Yeah.
So I was 20 years old. In order for me to come to America, I have to it's very hard. And this is why American people don't understand how hard it is for people to travel or to come in. To be part of America, it's so hard. And I knew the way I can get in is me to sign into college and get in a work and travel visa. Because when you're a student, they just give them out every summer. You can go summertime, you can go work for 3 or 4 months, travel, and you're good. And so I knew it, and I knew that's what I was supposed to do. So I signed up to the European college in my hometown. I paid, I think, about $1,000 because it was an expensive tuition for a year. But it made it happen. They gave me the right paperwork. I went to school. Then I went and got myself a visa. I got an interview, and the first job they offered me, because you have to go through an agency. They said we're gonna give you an offer. You can decline, but if you decline, there's no guarantee there's another one gonna come in. So the first offer that came in was me painting houses in Richmond, Virginia. I got a call at about 8 a.m. I was still sleeping because I was working nighttime at the time. I was a security. And they said, hey, we have this. And I'm like, oh, America, paint. Yeah, whatever. It don't matter. Just send me to America.
Right.
And later on, not later on, I think as soon as I hung up, I've never painted anything but an egg in my life. I've never painted like at all. I don't know. And now I'm going to Richmond in June.
Oh.
Yeah. Paint houses outside. And if you're unfamiliar, Richmond in June is 100 degrees minimum outside.
It's awful.
And it's 110 humidity. So there's no messing around. It's just a torturing, but you have to do what you have to do. And I tried. I gave it a month. I guess I was not the greatest painter. But first of all, I don't have a painting experience, so I don't know how you even expect me to become this professional painter in a month. So they fired me. So month 10 in Richmond, Virginia, I get fired. But not just like, hey man, I'm not back in Bulgaria. If you're from St. Louis, you get fired in St. Louis. All right, let me go back to my apartment and I'll find another job and I'll get my stuff together. When you're 1 month in America and you have $100 in your pocket and you don't know anybody, and I didn't get driven off the house. I got thrown out of the house. Literally, they told me, pack your bags and leave and tell somebody to come pick you up. And I said, well, I don't know anybody.
Right. Nobody to pick you up.
Who's supposed to come and pick me up?
Right.
And there was 2 boys that we were working together. They kind of knew what the owner was an asshole. Sorry. He was a bad guy.
You can say asshole here.
Oh.
We talked about your dick. Like
I know. Not my dick. Somebody's dick.
That's right. Shivani's dick.
And yeah, he came in and picked me up. We stayed in his house, in his apartment, 8 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. And from there, just the fight started. It was just the fight of surviving. I started working at Wendy's, 2 weeks, lasted in Wendy's. I just don't understand how can you have 4 managers and 2 workers. I just don't, that in my mind, that makes no sense.
Sure.
And when it was time off, like when it was downtime, instead of us like getting our bearings together, going clean. Well, come on, guys. And then they make me put the W. I haven't told you that. So working in Wendy's, I've told that story many times, but I always get a pop out of it. So we get a burgers. I was making the burgers on the drive-thru. And they said, before you close the burgers, you're supposed to put a W for Wendy's with the mustard on top before you close it out with the bun.
Okay.
So I said, well, in my mind, that makes no freaking sense whatsoever. And they said, well, Mr. General Manager, what if you turn the W upside down? Now it becomes M for McDonald's. He literally said that. He said, he's like, whoa, I didn't think about that. First of all, who is going to open their bun to see what's the letter it says? It's not like a surprise. Like, it's not Coca-Cola under the cap. You put the numbers. Yeah. There's none of that.
No, it's just going to all like mush together and like soak into the bun.
It's not going to look like a W. It's not going to look like a W when you pull it back anyway. No.
And now if you're thinking, why am I Wendy's and why am I taking so long? It's because they're drawing your W to the perfect one little zip at the end. But yeah, sorry, I got carried away. But that's how the fight started. Wendy's, then I started working at cleaning stores like Dollar Generals, where we would travel, once again, traveling. I was living in Richmond, Virginia. We traveled to Kentucky. We traveled to West Virginia. We traveled to Florida, all these surrounding states to clean Dollar Generals at night. So the store will close. We'll put these chemicals on the floor. We'll take all the wax out, and then we're going to re-wax the whole store again. Every night. We'll be on the road for 15 days at a time, sleeping in bad motels. Once again, getting me prepared for professional wrestling.
Sounds like it.
Everything. Shitty job once again. I got burned. They were supposed to pay me $2,000. They paid me $1,000. And my friend said, I'm moving to California. I said, well, California, that's Los Angeles, that's Hollywood, that's what I want to be. I think that's what professional wrestling is. So from there, we hopped in a car. 1988 red Oldsmobile, red in and red out. Greatest car ever. Yeah. And we drove that thing from Richmond, Virginia to San Pedro, California without stopping. We just drove straight through. I'm driving, he's sleeping. He's sleeping, I'm driving. We got there and I knew it was one step closer. I knew it was a short period of my time that I closed the chapter of Richmond, Virginia, but I was so happy to be away from it because now I'm in the pot that everything happens. And it did.
Yeah, it did. It was a great move.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say that me being a native of Richmond, of Virginia, and have a lot of family in Richmond, I know about it. And I noticed Aubrey's face when you said Virginia. She went, but she's from, she's left coast elitist, so I get that.
So tangent. So I grew up in Northern California, and there was a point a couple years back where I worked for a company that was based out of Richmond, Virginia. And I was basically trying to open up like the West Coast office in Seattle. and I went out to Virginia once for my interview, and I'm like, this place is shit. Like, of course you want to open a West Coast office because no one's going to move here.
I mean, Richmond is just a nice city. It's not. There's nothing major there. It's just nice people. I'm trying, Tony. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I get you. No, I'll finish up by saying they're nicer than people from Washington State.
Oh, 100%.
Oh.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I'm not originally from here. So fuck you.
There you go. Okay. So let's continue with the story. We want to talk about your Twitch channel. We want to talk about your success so far. And you and Cesaro started playing video games together, right?
I've played with Cesaro for a long time.
Right.
A long time. But when did we start? I don't know. What is this question leading to, so I can know where to go?
No, just leading to your Twitch
My
channel,
Twitch.
and how did you decide to do games on YouTube together and all of that?
Well, I can. Okay, I'll tell you that.
Okay, tell us that story.
Austin Creed, Xavier Woods. He was probably the main reason why I'm twitching today. We shared the love of video games for so many years. I played video games ever since I remember. And I went through the whole story from the little Ataris to Nintendos to Segas to PlayStations to computers, every single thing through my life. But I never thought of myself of playing video games in front of different people because we all have different emotions playing video games. I just wasn't sure if people want to go see that.
Right.
But he told me, no, man, you're entertaining. You're so funny and you love video games. You should definitely do that. And that happened right as I got fired. So I had nothing else to do. So I said, all right, I'll give it a go. And then I wanted to go the full professional route because I don't half-ass anything. So I went and find the person who got me all the right equipment and all the right setups. But everything started because of Creed. He gave me the confidence. And I think it was just timing as well because I don't think if I didn't get fired, I don't think I would have started the Twitch because I usually like to put 100% of what I'm doing. And when I was wrestling, I just put 100% in that. But now, once that went away, I just hit the Twitch. So I put 100% of the Twitch. And I fell in love with that. I fell in love with the Handsome Chatters, with all the community, because we have such a giving community. Like you see people coming and giving 100 subscriptions or 5 subscriptions or throwing out. And it's all because they just want to support you and support the channel and support what you do. They believe in you.
Right.
And that's why now when I started wrestling, I can't forget that. I can't forget that when I needed something to do, the Handsome Chatters and my Twitch were there for me. And now I can't turn my back, even though I love wrestling. I can't be like, all right, Twitch, that was just a period of my time. Goodbye. No, I love doing it. I love every single person there and communicating with them and just shoot the shit, if you will. And that's why now I love doing both, and I will continue doing both.
Please do. What's your Twitch channel name while we're at
Miro TWCH.
Miro TWCH. And
it's kind of a Miro Twitch, but it was like late night, and I didn't know you have one shot at creating a name.
Yeah, you don't really get to change it.
So that was it. But I'm okay with it.
All right, next we have our favorite time. It's time to answer the questions that were submitted by you guys using the hashtag AEW Podcast on Twitter.
This is AEW Unrestricted. Tony and Aubrey here. We're talking to Miro. We're at the fun portion of the podcast, the Q&A. We had a number of people on Twitter throw questions at us that we're going to be asking you, so prepare.
I'm ready.
Yeah. So first up we have from Activister. I'm always going to butcher these. That's probably my favorite part of all this. Activister on Twitter. What's your favorite championship belt in wrestling history?
My TV title.
Oh, the one that you won?
The one that I got, the TV monitor that I got from one of the events. I don't know what was it. It was something that I jumped off a table to table. I think I drove Rome. Oh, we were the League of Nations. That's what it was. Can I talk about League of Nations?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, you can.
Okay. So we were the League of Nations. After day 2, we found out that nobody gives a shit about League of Nations. We're there to create one thing. So I found that out. And then I think Stu got hurt. Barrett got hurt. I think Del Rio got hurt. And we were protecting Sheamus because Sheamus was a champion. So I knew that I I was like, F it. I'm just going to bump. I'm just going to do everything I need to because I don't care. And that's why I think Roman, we started joking is I'm here to bump Mike. I think something about the Miz, whatever it is, because that's what my mentality. I'm going to be a bulldog. I'm going to bump for every single thing. I don't care. Because I was then point that I don't care. Because if you don't care, it's not that I don't care. I'm going to do 110%. I'm just going to have fun with it. Because this is the way of me dealing with the bullshit, is getting the bullshit and having fun with it. Because otherwise, I'll be stuck in your bullshit. If I'm stuck in your bullshit, then it's not going to be pretty for anybody. So I'm having fun. So there it is. I think Roman was laid across the table. I run like Umaga style, big splash, boom. Vince McMahon is there. And what I know, because Rikishi always taught me right. Rikishi was my second trainer. He told me, this is what makes you the money. So if Vince McMahon is there, where is that camera going to go? Of course, it's going to go to Vince McMahon. So what I do, I go and give him a big sweaty hug. With all my sweatiness for the match, I just go and hug him and squeeze him so hard. And whatever. We got to pop in on the way out. I see this monitor. And I'm like, I was so tempted. I'm like, you know what? F it. I grabbed that TV monitor, the old ones, not the new, the LED, the old
like
school.
the big ones.
Yes, the big one. I'm carrying it out. And I'm walking out, and the Rio sees that, and he's trying to grab it. I'm like, give me my monitor. I'm not throwing away that thing. And then on the way out, Big Show, we were supposed to kind of pass away with Big Show. I see him. I'm like, don't you dare, with my little monitor. And I blew past, and to this day, I took the monitor home. They did ask for it. I said, hey, can I have it? They said, okay. So they let me have the monitor. And to this day, it's in my house, in my man cave in Nashville. And this is probably my most precious title.
Oh, my God.
That is a tremendous story.
Yeah. Because everything else, it's a bullshit work. This was a real title.
This absolutely was. The Davish King 1 on Twitter. What's your relationship with John Cena, and how does it impact being on AEW?
I love John. I can't be thankful enough for John for teaching me how to wrestle. And when I say that, I knew how to wrestle. But teaching me timing, teaching me the psychology, teaching me how to listen to the people, react to the people, having to be able to control the people the way you wanted it. That's what John taught me. And I love John. And I always had a great relationship with him. And me being in AEW, I don't think that would change anything because John is doing movies. John is doing great. And I know that if I need an advice, I'm pretty sure I can just text him and he will always respond. Because this is how John is. John cares, man. People think he's this and that, but John really cares.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get that.
So we got a question from a number of people on Twitter. Who are you most looking forward to having a match or a program with at AEW?
Oh, boy. There's so many people. Because I haven't worked with any of these guys. It's
right.
It's all new, right?
It's all new. And it's such it's like I'm a little kid. I have all these toys. And by that, all these toys, I mean, nothing but respect for these guys because they're so good and they know so many things. But who is the one that I'm looking forward the most? Oh, man. So as much as I love to work Moxley, I've worked with him before. Maybe not in a pay-per-view scale, but we did live events when we had some fantastic matches. I've worked with Brody. We've been a tag team with Brody. I worked with Cody, I think. But I think Kenny, man. I think Kenny's going to be the man.
Sure.
Kenny is like I don't know. There's just something about him.
He's a machine.
It's the machine, it's the eyes, it's the attitude, and at the same time, he's so freaking good. And he thinks he's a gamer as well. So I think there's a lot of challenges there that I'm ready for. Mm-hmm. I'm ready for. I'm really, really looking forward to being able to work with Kenny. For years, I've been watching him. Big fan of his. Can't wait.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I agree.
Because also he's a big dude. He's not, and no disrespect to the small guys, but he's a big dude. He's big. He's in great shape. And I don't think, as far as I know, as far as I've seen, there is no negatives to him. Like it's all positive, it's all upsides. There's no like, oh, this guy's good in this and good in this, but he sucks at that. I don't think there's anything with Kenny like this. And it's not just Kenny. There's a lot of people in AEW that way. But just because we're talking about Kenny, there's no downside of him.
No, he's one of my favorite people to work with because he just has that ability to push you to whatever that next level is.
Yeah.
Like where you're not sure, and then all of a sudden you're in a match like, oh, this is what it's like. And that knee, man, that knee is devastating. So be careful. I'm going to warn you now.
Thank you.
AJ Street 77 on Twitter wants to know, what's the best match you've ever seen in wrestling since you started?
Man, probably some of the best matches was the last couple of weeks that I saw personally live on AEW TV. I'm not even kidding. But if I have to go back to watch my favorite match, it's always going to be Hogan and The Rock. You can't change that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many matches I see. This is the match for me. And I'm sure a lot of people will be like, I just can't help
tremendous.
it.
No, it's tremendous.
I'm just having goosebumps just talking about it.
Right.
I love that.
It's the match, but it's the crowd. It's how they think something is going to happen, but something completely different happens, but nobody give the shit about it because the people were in the moment, the boys in the middle were in the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to cry in a second if you
Oh,
keep
No,
man.
look, hey, I get it. It was a magical moment. It was nostalgic, and it was just a wonderful
And you
moment.
know what's even better than this? I got to talk to Hogan about it.
Really?
Oh.
And this is the thing that I love. And people don't know about Hogan. Hogan is such a brother. I love Hogan because you can sit down with him and he'll tell you all the stories of all the towns in Japan, in Louisiana, whatever it is. He's such a brother, man. And I wish like I could spend more time with him so I can hear more of these stories because these are the stories that you want to hear firsthand. And I'm so blessed that I've been able to know him. And now he texts me. Like imagine the guy that I saw at 6 years old, that I said, Mom, I want to be like that guy. Now he's texting me.
Sure.
How can I complain?
It's wild, right?
Oh man, it's the weirdest thing. I love it. I love my life.
So we have a question from Nivek CTE on Twitter. Alliance or Horde?
Lance or Horde?
Alliance or Horde for World of Warcraft?
Well, I'm not a World of Warcraft guy.
Oh, you're not?
Oh,
So, but I'll tell you why. Me and Brian Pillman Jr., he's a big on that game. So I told him that. I've talked to him the past couple of weeks. He said he's big on World of Warcraft. That's what you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he is going to come. The new edition drops out October 19th or 21st. So Brian Pillman Jr. is coming to Miro Twitch, and we both are going to be streaming World of Warcraft while he's teaching me. And I'm sure it's going to be great for other people who has never had to experience World of Warcraft. So it's going to be a great stream.
It's such an old game, and there's so much that has happened since then. There's an incredible amount of history. You're super
and
lucky
this
you're
game
going to have
goes-
somebody walking you through it.
Yeah, I'm so happy with it because it's such a game that has been around for so long, and it's such a popular game. But I just haven't had the time because I know that people get on there and they wake up 45 years later and what happened? Well, you played World of Warcraft. That's what happened. So
That's right.
I'm trying not to get there, but I want to see why are these people like this. And
I went
what better way?
I went to a game development school for my undergrad, and World of Warcraft came out the year before my freshman year, and it was responsible for the biggest number of dropouts ever because people just started playing World of Warcraft and stopped going to class.
Wow. That's just, come on, guys, get priorities.
Yeah, exactly. Get a life, as we say.
It's okay to play video games. Just put that timer on. Divide your time.
Right. Jermazine on Twitter wants to know, is your ring gear in AEW going to be a throwback or something totally new?
You're going to have to tune in and check it out, man.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, right answer.
I like it. Very good.
All right, Cactus Mac on Twitter. You have a really good grasp of comedy, committing 100% to your storylines and really getting the crowd invested in you. Who are your inspiration when it comes to character work?
So many people. I grab people from I grab stuff from everybody. I've grabbed stuff from Stallone. I've grabbed stuff from Umaga. I grab stuff from Kurt Angle. I grab stuff from from everything, whatever I see. From my father, I grab a lot of mannerism from my father. When my father gets mad, there's a certain thing that he does that I take. And I've told him that many times. But this is what makes you stand out. It's like you get in these mannerism or these emotions from feelings that you had before. You just gotta keep them and trying to be able to bring them out when the time is right. And that's the thing that I notice a lot with a lot of the performers. They're just like, a lot of them going through emotion and they have nothing behind those punches or those moves. It's just moves. Well, you need to have that emotion. That's why people need to connect with you. People cannot connect with the 460 off the top into a turnbuckle, into the table, down under the ring, straight to hell, because people haven't been to hell, but people can relate with that raw emotion of like, oh man, he's really hurt, or he's really sad, or oh, he's going to tear his freaking heart out and he doesn't even give a shit about anybody else. This is what we need more. We need to bring that out, the raw emotions, not just as much as the maneuvers.
Whoa. Good stuff, buddy. Good stuff. Now that this may be an answer where you have to just tune in and see again, but we'll hit you with it. The Brozilla on Twitter. Now that you have more freedom at AEW, what can we expect to see from an unchained Miro?
What you see is going to be something that nobody told me to do.
Ooh.
Like it.
When you're in a different place, I've said, don't look at the people. Don't smile. Put your hands up. Now put your hands down. Now step to the left, step to the right. Now grab a hold. Well, I don't want to grab a hold.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look at the people. I want to let the people in. Why would you tell me not to do that? Because as far as I know, I get the reaction that I want to. So that's what I'm looking forward not having these chains, because I'll be able to free and to explore and to do whatever the hell I think it's the right thing to do. Not because somebody sitting backstage, looking at their phone up and down, decide that, oh, I should do this at this second. That's what I'm looking forward to. And that's what you should expect.
Yeah, I'm excited. All right, last question. Nate Rob 23 on Twitter. You play a lot of video games. So have you ever played any WWE video games using your own character? I love that reaction.
Hey, look, I'm really looking forward to the AEW video game. I'll say that much.
Oh, we'll have to talk eventually at one point.
I'm really looking forward to AEW video game, even if you make like a WrestleFest style game. It doesn't have to be the latest edition, as long as it's good. We go for good. But it was, I can't lie. It was definitely such a huge moment when you see yourself in a video game.
Yeah.
Because once again, you've played all your life. You've played every single wrestling video game. And there's this 1 year that all of a sudden you are there, even though your rating sucks. But you don't care about that, right? Because it's all about you. You don't have to go and spend 4 hours on the create a character to create somebody that looks like you.
It's literally you.
It's literally you. And I mean, again, I'm just very lucky and very fortunate guy that to be able to live and experience that. I wish everybody could, and I know that everybody could experience that, as long as people find what do they want to do. They find it, and it's never too late to find that. I didn't start wrestling until I was 24, and I thought it was way too late. I thought at 24, The Rock was a champion, 22, or Brock, or whatever it was. I thought to myself, I'm very late. But I didn't care because I loved it. I never started wrestling thinking I was going to be a WWE or AEW or any kind of superstar. I just started wrestling because I love professional wrestling. So start doing what you love to do and see where it takes you. And I know that's kind of a moment of teaching or whatever. Not even teaching, it's just my experience. I can always share my experience. I never teach. I never say it. This is my experience. If you want to take it, take it. If you don't want to take it, then find your own way.
Oh man.
Well, I definitely could say that you're you're so positive, and you're such a delight to be with. And we've enjoyed backstage at AEW since its inception, but we're going to enjoy it even more now. I think you're going to be contagious to everybody out there in the right way.
Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. And I've noticed all the kids and everybody else there. They're all so happy, man.
Yes.
They're all so happy. Everybody's just, and that's what I said. The biggest difference is nobody's running backstage. Nobody's sweating. Nobody's having a heart attack. There's no paper thrown in like first, fourth, third, fifth draft. None of that. Everything is boom, boom. That's it. And everybody else do their thing, sit down, watch the show. What else do you want?
That's right. It's a tremendous place. Miro, thank you. Thank you for your time, buddy.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you as part of our family. We're so happy to have you on the podcast today. Like, I'm just so much looking forward to working with you. I think the first time we met, I was like, dude, I'm a big fan. I'm kind of marking out right now.
Hey,
but like, I'm not going to lie. We're all marks. Fuck it. Whatever.
It's not we're marks. We just watch the product. It doesn't matter what kind of wrestling is. So at the same time, I was in the other company watching AEW, and I was like, oh, I love this guy. I love that guy. It's okay to be a mark. It's okay to be a fan. We make a mark sound such a like negative word.
Oh, no, I'm turning it around. That's what I'm doing.
Right. We should, because the marks that everybody say marks. No, those are fans who love the product.
Exactly.
Those are the fans who buy all your stuff. Like, and Mark comes from back in the day, the Carney days with the marks in the back. And those are fans. Those are loyal fans.
Right.
Sometimes those loyal fans won't like your product. Sometimes those loyal fans will turn away. But that's how fans are. And if you want them back, find what they want.
All right. Well, we want to let you know that you can find Miro on Instagram and Twitter at 2BMiro and on YouTube at 2BMiro TV.
Yes, 2BMiro TV, YouTube. We got some cool stuff.
Yeah. What's your Twitch
Miro
again?
Twitch, though. Miro Twitch, Miro TWCH.
Yeah.
I stream pretty much every day or when I'm not at work, 1 p.m. LA time.
LA time. The right time. Not this East Coast bullshit. So thank you,
The
Miro.
Thank you.
Remember, you can subscribe to AEW Unrestricted Podcast for free wherever you get your podcasts.
How? Tell me how. I want to go do it.
Where do you get your...
Yeah, where do you get your podcasts?
I don't listen to podcasts.
Oh, well, there. Okay, step one is start listening to podcasts. I go to Spotify.
You got to tell me how. That's what I'm asking you. If I'm a new listener or if I'm Miro in this case.
Open up the podcast app on your phone and search AEW Unrestricted. You can go to Spotify, you can go to Apple, you can go to Google Play, whatever your podcast is. Type it in and then look for the To Be Miro episode and download and listen to it.
So it doesn't matter what the platform is as long as I find...
Yes, AEW Unrestricted.
Yeah, we're everywhere, man.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, you can watch the video episode on YouTube at tntdrama.com /All Elite Wrestling /Unrestricted Podcast.
And of course, tune in to Dynamite every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, 7 Central on TNT.
I'm
TNT.
Oh, my. Thanks again, Miro.
Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Love being here. I'm really looking forward to Wednesday. Let's go and create some more magic.
Hell yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, y'all.
I'm Tony Schiavone, and that's Aubrey Edwards, who just clapped.
I thought we were done. What the hell, man?
Thanks for listening and watching AEW Unrestricted.